Alright, I gotta make this video quick, as quick as I can. The whole thing I was telling you about with these USB drives, bootable off your computer or laptop, I know there's going to be computers that people have, they're too old, they won't boot, you can't tell it to boot off this, it's going to be a nightmare. And I don't have the time to try to help people do it, I just don't. So I've come across a wallet that someone sent me an email like, hey, check this out, it's called Exodus. It has numerous cryptocurrencies all in one: Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Dashcoin, and 2 or 3 others. It does not have Ripple at the moment, but whatever. You still need a Coinbase.com website. You got to go there and sign up. You should have already done that by now. That's how you can buy and sell the Bitcoin and or Ethereum or Litecoin. Coinbase, which is where I'm at right now, allows you to sell or buy Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin. You can transfer it to your bank account, back and forth, etc. But at some point, you're going to need to go here. Accounts, which is right here. Ethereum wallet, which I have 19 in there. Litecoin, nothing. My wallet, whatever, nothing. USD wallet, nothing. And I think the one I called my wallet is actually it's my Bitcoin address. But point being is if I click on this wallet, Ethereum, I can go over here and click wallet address. It's saying, warning, do not send Ethereum mining rewards. Like if I'm mining Ethereum, send it here. I'm not doing that. Or ETC, which is the old Ethereum, directly to this address. So this essentially is my Coinbase. So if I highlight that, right click and copy, this is my Coinbase Ethereum wallet. So if I go to the actual wallet program, which, hang on one second. All right, so this is the Exodus wallet program. And I go to wallet, I go to Ethereum, assuming I have Ethereum on my wallet at home, which I'm at home and this is my wallet. But as you see, the Ethereum's actually my account on Coinbase right now. But I want you to pretend, it says I've got 1/10 of a Ethereum. Someone actually sent me 1/10 the other day. But just pretend I had like 10 in here, okay? I would go to send. Where am I sending it to? Right click, paste, 0, right? And I would go and I'd pull up Coinbase and double check just to be sure. It starts with 0x and ends in 298. Okay, that's me. Amount to send. I would hit 10, which I don't have, but I'd hit 10 and then I'd hit send and boom, it would go to the to my online account on Bitcoin. On Coinbase. I then can go sell it right at the market price right then and there if I want to and get cash for it, just like that. You could also do the same thing with Bitcoin because, again, it takes Bitcoin on Coinbase, Bitcoin, Ethereum, or Litecoin. So let's go to Bitcoin. I've got 6.3 in here at the moment. I would hit send. I would not right-click and paste that same one. This is not a Bitcoin address, and it can tell, actually. See how it's red? It knows this is not a Bitcoin address. I would do the same thing I just showed you on Coinbase, except instead of picking the Ethereum account, I would pick my wallet for the Bitcoin and hit that little button that said show my ID, whatever my wallet address, and then I'd paste that here. And then I'd say, okay, I want to send 6.33, whatever, and then hit send, and then it's going to show up in my wallet online on Coinbase.com in a matter of, because it's Bitcoin, it'll take a little bit longer, probably in a matter of minutes, 10 minutes, 15, maybe sooner, just depends. And then I could go right on there and make a sell order and sell off all my Bitcoin or however many I'm allowed. Bitcoin or the amount of sales on Coinbase are usually limited to selling $5,000 worth, buying. You can buy $5,000 worth online at Coinbase.com per week. You can sell $15,000 per week worth of coins. Just make sure you have your bank account listed on there. You verified it, and you did this thing that said up my amount, and it says verify, and then you have to like scan an ID or a driver license, send it to them, they approve it, and then your amounts go up. But selling amount $15,000 per week, buying amount $5,000. But they say if you buy and sell a little bit here and there, it's supposed to kick those numbers up anyways, to where it allows you to do more. So that's how you would essentially transfer from this wallet there and sell it. Now I want to show you this wallet because it has all these different wallets: Augur, Bitcoin, Dashcoin, Dogecoin, Ethereum, Golem Coin, and Litecoin. And there's something, wait, there's more. Click on exchange. Check this out. And I happen to have 6.33 Bitcoin. And maybe over here, I want to buy some Dash coin. I've already got 6.3 in here. I want to buy another, well, let's say I'm going to set that to Dash. And I just want to use 0.222 for whatever the hell reason. It's telling me right now you are exchanging 0.222 Bitcoin for 4.666337, whatever. You will receive that. So if I hit exchange, and I did this earlier, by the way, I think it may ask for verification. Are you sure? Whatever, you hit yes. This thing goes out on some exchange somewhere. I don't even know where, to be honest with you. Exchanges them live, and this took me about 15 to 20 minutes to complete earlier. And it got to the halfway point and said, waiting for exchange, waiting for exchange, waiting for exchange, something like that. And I'm like, uh-oh. Oh, boy, what did I do? You know, did I screw something up? And then, nope, it just takes a while. Okay, boom, done. 15 minutes later, I heard ding. Oh, what was that? I look in there, boom, it's done. So now, if I did do this, I would have my 6.3 above plus the 4.66637, whatever, worth of Dash in my wallet right here. So at that point, if I went to my wallet, and I clicked over here to, the example was Dash coin, Dash, 6 plus 4, whatever it was, you know, I forgot the number now, 10, it would say 10. So now I've got 10 sitting here. I just exchanged them online with this wallet. Talk about awesome. But let's say you happen to have Golem coin or Dogecoin or Augur, whatever, and you want, and somehow you got in on this and the price freaking skyrocketed and you just, you know, you spent $500, you just made $2,000 and you want to sell out of these Augur coins, whatever. So let's pretend, well, first of all, let's think about that. How did you get to buy the Augur coin? Well, again, here's how you do it. You would have to exchange. Like, for example, let's just say you have one Bitcoin here, or whatever. I got 6.3. I've got 6.3. I want to buy some Augur. I want to spend half of a Bitcoin, 0.5, half of a Bitcoin. It's telling me I will get 60. Half of a Bitcoin will give me 60 of these Augur coins. So I would hit exchange, do the same thing, yada, yada, yada. I've never done this. I don't know how long this one takes. Does it take 15 minutes, 10 minutes? I don't know, but it should work fine. When it's done, you hear the ding, okay, and you can follow the transaction. It happens, no problem. So you would go back to your wallets. You'd go back to Augur coin, and you'd see 60 Augur here. Okay, well, I want to sell these now because when I took that half a Bitcoin, I sold it off for these, or exchanged it, excuse me, for these Augur coins because I got a sneaky suspicion the price is going to go up over the next 5 days. And oh my God, my sneaky suspicion was correct, and I just tripled. These are worth triple now. They were a few days ago. I'm happy. I want to sell them. But wait a minute, they're Augur coins. How the hell do I sell them? You go back to the exchange button. You're going to go to Augur, and you're going to exchange them for either Ethereum or Bitcoin, in my opinion. Because remember, we can only send Ethereum, Bitcoin, or Litecoin back to Coinbase in order to sell for money. It'll only take those three. And I'm not screwing out with Litecoin anyways, whatever. So I would just pick Bitcoin or Ethereum. And let's just say I pick Bitcoin in this case. Or, it doesn't matter. And I've got 60, right? So I would say sell all 60. And honestly, you can't sell the full 60 because there's always that little 100th% or whatever that has to go to the blockchain. It'll actually tell you, if you want to send the full amount, click this button. And it will take out that little tiny, tiny fee automatically so that the numbers are right. Anyways, it would be like 59.9987, would be the actual amount instead of 60 even. And then you would hit exchange. So as soon as that transaction is done, you will now have the equivalent in Bitcoin of whatever it equals. But again, for what you paid for a few days ago, and it went up 3 times its value, you're going to get 3 times more Bitcoin than you would have 3 days ago is what this is doing. So let's say that's done. Now you're going to go to your wallet, Bitcoin. Let's just say all of a sudden I got these Bitcoin in. I'm going to send. I'm going to paste the Bitcoin address from Coinbase.com. So that thing I showed you earlier with the accounts, you're going to click on your Bitcoin wallet and say, show me my address. It pops up. Here's your address. You're going to paste that right here. How much? Full amount, whatever. Boom, send, done. When it's done, you'll see the confirmation inside of Coinbase.com. Summary, whatever. Yep, here's your Bitcoin, just came in. Now you can unload that on the market. So you have to transfer coins to other coins in order to make this work. So this is, if someone wanted to like play around and like day trade, I'll give you an example like today. Today, I want to say Ethereum was up 9 to 10% at one point. Dash Coin was 4 to 5% at one point. And Bitcoin was between 2 and 3% up. All of those were up. But that was for the day, like during the day, later on. In the morning, they weren't up that high. So again, if you decided, and maybe you had some charts up online, which if you go to tradingview.com, you can type in what chart you want to see. And you can say, show me Bitcoin, show me Litecoin, show me this coin, show me that coin, Ethereum, Dash, okay. And you can watch them live, the percentage, everything that's moving. And you may say, okay, just morning just started. Bitcoin's moved up hardly any. It's not even really doing anything. Ethereum, on the other hand, wow, Ethereum's up 3% already. If it's up this early in the morning, I got a feeling it's going to go 3, 4, 5, 6% more. We may have an 8, 9, 10% day. Okay, so in that case, I'm going to go to my wallet, take however much Bitcoin you decided to exchange on the exchange button there on the wallet for, in this case, Ethereum. The exchange happens. You now have a whole bunch of Ethereum. Now you're sitting on them. You're just waiting. Throughout the day, Bitcoin, maybe it goes up a little bit, maybe it doesn't, whatever. But then you see Ethereum, sure enough, it hit 8%. I want out now. You then convert it back to Bitcoin or Litecoin or whatever, or well, in this case, it's Ethereum. You don't have to convert it at all. You already did that with the Bitcoin. You took the Bitcoin and bought Ethereum earlier. It went up 4, 5, 6, 7% now. It's still Ethereum, which means you don't have to actually do the exchange back, because you're going to take that Ethereum, go right, hit your wallet, Ethereum, send to my Coinbase address, Ethereum Coinbase address. And it'll show up there. Then you would just unload it right there on the exchange. So at the same time, if you just want to, rather than use partial Bitcoins to do what I just explained, you could go right on Coinbase.com and just sit there and have those charts up at tradingview.com. Okay, the market's just open. Well, it looks like I've got my 3 favorite coins. It looks like Ethereum is already up 2%. I'm going to go buy 10 Ethereum coins right now. You're already on Coinbase, so this has nothing to do with your wallet at all. Place a buy order for Ethereum. Now, I know when it comes to Coinbase, when I go to buy a Bitcoin, and I did buy Ethereum too, though. And I got to be honest with you, I can't remember if that was super fast or I had to wait days before the Ethereum came in. I know you have to wait days before Bitcoin comes in, just the way their system works, and to make sure no one's trying to scam anybody. It takes days before you actually get a Bitcoin. So to day trade, so to speak, it'd be kind of hard to do it that way. But I just want to give you kind of an example of ways of doing this. But for the average person, you guys out there, most of you, you're probably just saying, I'm not messing with that. I want to do like a buy and hold move like I do with my silver. Buy it and hold it. Right, so you can go to Coinbase.com. You could buy your Bitcoin, or you could buy your Ethereum right there off of Bitcoin, off of Coinbase, Coinbase.com. But you may be telling yourself, but I also want to get into that damn Dash coin. And maybe one of these, whatever these other, Litecoin and Golem and whatever. How do I do that? Can't do it on Coinbase. So what you'd have to do is either buy a Bitcoin or an Ethereum coin off of Coinbase, send it from there to this wallet, this Exodus wallet of yours, that address, and then you would, for example, if you bought one Bitcoin, took the Bitcoin, once it was in your account, of course, again, days later, took the Bitcoin, send it to your wallet here. Once it's on your wallet, do an immediate exchange, hit the exchange button like I showed you, and exchange it for Litecoin. And then you bought a bunch of Litecoin, now you're sitting on the Litecoin. And if the price, if the price is going up on Litecoin, now it's time to retransfer that back, convert it back to either Bitcoin or Ethereum, and then take that, once you get it converted, send it back to your Coinbase REALIST.com account and then sell it off into the market. So that's how you can play these kind of games. Most of you, and I'll be honest, I'm probably the same way. I'm looking at what's already on here. Mainly three things, but really two. Bitcoin and Ethereum. However, Dashcoin's on there. But you can't sell Dashcoin on Coinbase. So you have to take the Dashcoin, do the exchange button for either Bitcoin or Ethereum. Once that is done, then take that and send it off to your wallet on Coinbase and then sell it. Because when it comes to your wallet on Coinbase, it'll already be converted, whether you chose Bitcoin or Ethereum to convert it to beforehand. But that's kind of how I'm looking at this. So when the day comes, I'll do the little switcheroo on my Dashcoin, but my Ethereum and my Bitcoin will already be here. And when I say it's time to sell, I'm going to sell them right over to Coinbase and unload them. But I want to show you one more thing. So hang on. And that other thing is this. If you hit backup, you can go to reset email and password. And when you click this button, it will it'll actually email you a special link that you'll want to save, hang on to, and you're going to have to create a password. Okay? Oh, here we go with the stupid Windows thing. So you can actually set that. It'll send you a link. Keep it. You can also, as it says, you should have your backup phrase written down and stored in a safe deposit box or locked vault. So if you do the show 12-word password phrase, it's just 12 words. If you save that and you go to restore this, you can put that in there and restore it. However, I tried the email backup before I did this video, and I downloaded a fresh copy of this Exodus program, which is the wallet. I then hit restore. There's a restore thing on here. I restored it, and all you really do to restore it is you close this program, go into your email, click the link that you got earlier for when you did the email backup. It automatically opens the program and knows to restore it, and it asks you the password, not the 12-word password, just the regular password you set. I typed it in, boom, all my wallets came up, it was done. So it's safe. If you lose your computer, whatever, you can download this again as long as you have access to your email, etc., and you save that link, you're done. Matter of fact, you could print out the link. It's a very long link, by the way, but you could technically print that out and then type it in manually into your browser if you really had to, and it would do the same thing and pop up. That thing would pop up. So this is a very interesting program. It is great, and I think this is the way everybody needs to go. If you have another Bitcoin wallet or multi-bit wallet or whatever you're using, simply open it up and send it here to your new address. When the thing's done, throw it, don't ever open that wallet again. You don't need it anymore. You can use this one. So that's where we're going with this. I wanted to kind of give you a rundown on everything. Take care.